Good morning.
And welcome
to
our
moment
of
hope. I'm trying to get close to you, August.
okay. Our verse is
Oh, August, memorize this.
Yeah.
You're ready, and don't say it too fast because other people haven't memorized it. So don't go blah blah blah.
So it's 2 Corinthians 4, verse 1 and 2.
Okay.
Therefore, having this ministry by the mercy of God, we do not lose heart, but we have renounced disgraceful, underhanded ways. We refuse to practice cunning or to tamper with God's word, but by the open statement of the truth, we would commend ourselves to everyone's conscience in the sight of God.
Okay, that's a lot of stuff. Who wrote the book of 2 Corinthians?
Paul.
Okay, so he's writing this book to the Corinthians, and I like the first verse. There's a lot of hope in that. Where do you think the hope's in the first verse? Say it again.
Therefore, having this ministry by the mercy of God, we do not lose heart.
Okay. So is there any hope in that?
Well, that we don't lose heart.
Why don't we lose heart, though?
Because we're in the ministry of God.
We have this ministry. We've been given something. He's saying we've been given this ministry by the mercy of God. And I think in the previous chapter, maybe it's not in there, but there is somewhere, it may not be in 2 Corinthians. Look it up, guys. Where he says it is a ministry of reconciliation. That's the good news Jesus brought. He said, we're going to reconcile humanity to God. That's the ministry. Anyway, so we have that ministry by the mercy of God. I think that's hopeful because whenever God is involved, he brings the hope. They're not losing heart because they know the ministries by the mercy of God. It was given by God. Nobody can stop it.
Yeah.
If God does it, nobody can stop it.
Yeah.
But what about the other part? There's a lot of other things. So you said, but
we have renounced disgraceful, underhanded ways. We refuse to practice cunning or to tamper with God's word, but by the open statement of the truth, we would commend ourselves to everyone's conscience in the sight of God.
Okay, so basically, in those verses, he's saying we don't have to be sneaky. We don't have to do we don't have to do weird, crazy things, messing with God's word. We don't have to mess around because we have the solid truth of God's word. We can depend on the fact that our message is true. So we don't have to.
We don't have to like question it.
Well, we don't have to be like, oh yeah, no. Here's I can't think of a thing, but he said the cunning. What was it? We refuse to practice cunning or to tamper with God's word. So if you have a weird thing where you're like, oh, I wish God's word said this.
Well,
then you might be messing around with it and you're like, see, look, it totally says this.
People sometimes change it.
Right. Well, what do we want to do? We want to, find out what God's word actually says, because if we actually believe that it's true, we want to know what God thinks, not what makes us feel good about stuff. Yeah. So then there's hope in that, because if we align ourselves with God, then we'll have victory.
Yeah.
I like that, August. You did a good job, and you've been memorizing that.
We're gonna do the whole chapter of 2
We're learning this chapter. We're gonna memorize this chapter. So someday
I might tell you.
You'll do the whole chapter, but you can't say it you can't just rattle it off though. It's kind of too quick. All right. Thanks for joining. Moment of. I said moment of.
Oh.
But I said it with no T because I was trying to make it really fast. Because I wanted this. We're trying to not be long.
Oh.